Hello. What's going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Today is Wednesday, 26th. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yesterday, the stream got cut short. Not sure why. I hope today it's not gonna cut short. So we're gonna try to get a full hour in so I can explain everything that's been happening and maybe give you guys some updates. Make sure my stream is full hour in so I can. Yep, we have audio, so we're good. All right, guys. Been really busy lately with so many different things, and we got the coffee, different coffee today. Let's crack this one. Let's go. Oh yeah. Okay, man. Got some coffee, and we ready to cook. All right, let me make sure my stream is good real quick, and I hope it doesn't drop. If it does drop in the middle, I'm sorry, guys, but we try to do our best. It's not really up to us if it drops or not. It's not up to me, but I hope we have good connection now. It should be good. Yesterday we were just having some DNS issues. Anyways, we are back. Let's get to cooking. I'm gonna put my thing right here, and let's go to Cursor. Okay, let me just check to see what's going on with us here. Um, we've been really doing a lot of updates here for the Mergestorm, and yeah, we're looking good. So let's see what we got here. Anyway, guys, for Mergestorm, we have an update. We have the merge queue. So this is something we're working on right now. We should be done by tonight or tomorrow. It's already working, but we just need to polish it up a little bit, and we have all of this kind of stuff. Just a small little bug in the Mergestorm. Regardless, this is separate. Let's go to our issues here on X-Copilot and the PRs. Looks like we have a bunch of issues, I believe, that are not resolved. But they all should be resolved. So let me just tell Cursor to just clean up everything here so we can just get a fresh start. Okay, please go ahead and close out any open issues on our repo because they have been addressed and they already have a PR that's merged. Okay, so we got the Cursor is going to handle this, all the issues. Let's go back here. So a couple of new things. Let me go over what we've done overnight. We've really been cooking, pushing forward. Remember this guy, this is open source. So, right. And starting from yesterday, we had this really fat unit here. I think it's a 5 PR unit. So there was a couple changes. Let's look before that. So as you can see, we've done a lot of stuff overnight. Let the desk collapse. Agenda. Cut daily flight takeoffs. Okay, so a couple of things. Starting yesterday, we removed this thing from settings, so you can't really change how whenever you do takeoff. Before you had a option in settings where you could change how many threads it gives you per takeoff, which makes no sense because obviously you just want to set the max amount, right? So anyway, we kind of eliminated it. It always will just show you 5 threads on takeoff. That's it. Now, a couple more things that we added was, yeah, that was just a small little thing. I just want to go over everything before we move forward. This was the takeoff thing. Yeah, so this is the stop exposing the setting option for the number of threads. Call daily flights takeoffs. Exactly. I thought I really didn't like sorties. Sorties. What kind of name is sorties? I don't know. It's kind of weird. I didn't like that, so we're just gonna change it to daily flight takeoffs because that's really what this is. The whole. I want to go with the whole. As every brand, every product, you can have your aesthetic. So in my case, I'd like to go with with the aesthetic of Copilot and flying and flights. So this is we changed it to be called takeoffs, not sorties. The desk collapse, agenda, and flight path. Right. So if you go to the desk, let's refresh it. I wanted this to be collapsible, so you can collapse it like this. So you can just have your full row of items available. The thing is, it looks like when I collapse it, okay. Well, it shows it, but there's a small bug, I guess, because if I collapse it too early, it might not show these suggested stuff, and also we can get more suggests. So anyway, here's a takeoff. The new format kind of, so we give you guys more room on the actual rows, so you can see on your FYP, on your approach. We call this approach. This is the For You page, but really this is an approach thing. So it's gonna spit out about 5 threads that are worth reacting to. Just the usual stuff. Nothing crazy. Nothing changed there too much. Besides that, this is a collapsible. Make approach suggested rows match scout rows. So again, a small thing. We make these rows kind of match. But all we did was put a border around them, so we don't want the suggested rows to take up too much space. You can expand it. It's going to have a different flow, slightly different flow. But yeah, so the main thing we added is, so these guys here, these are, you know, kind of expensive for us, right? Because you have to search the X API. Every read costs money. And this is kind of the expensive part for us and for you. But this suggested stuff here, it already uses the data you have. And this is kind of the next thing we're polishing, because it was suggesting kind of, before it was suggesting at low view posts, and it was suggesting to kind of boost them by making a comment or a response, which is not correct. We want to focus more on the posts that got views, and we want to focus on them maybe reposting, requoting, etc., etc. So that was the whole point with the make approach suggested rows match. It's just the UI stuff. Stop the homepage and desk from jumping on load. This is just, again, a UI polish. And this is the big one here that we landed. It's not a lot of diff, but it was just a lot of randomness. So we kind of landed this as a PR stack. So in this case, we stopped exposing the cool threads and settings. We capped daily flight takeoffs. We also made the suggestions so that you can actually create more suggestions if you like. So that was kind of part of it, and some UI stuff. So it was just a bunch of random stuff kind of stuffed into a one PR stack. So we shipped that already. And now the next part after that, we show posts and views on flight path hover. So that's another thing here. If you expand this, we wanted to clearly show each part. And look, you see, it still kind of looks like an oval. I don't know how much I like this, so we can just modify it a little bit. But as you can see, it's clearly showing exactly what each data point means. So it just kind of makes it a little bit more involved. So here you see exactly what's happening. And again, guys, remember, the line is how many views you got. The bar is how many comments you give, right? As you can see, I don't know why it kind of expands up. So it's just a couple more polishes to do here. So yeah, this is just for UI. So going back to what we've done, this is the show posts of views on flight path hover. So also, yeah, this is all yesterday. So we didn't do it on stream, but we're doing this. I'm just going over what we've done, and we're going to continue. So talk to the operator in approach Y. So this other change here was important because it was saying my instead of yours. So we just made sure that it's talking to the operator in the second person. So it's responding to you. And this is suggestions. So it'll suggest, in my case, here's an example for the suggestions. So it said, your GPT 5.6 Soul Super Team post got 50 views. It's referring to this post I made. Jeez, what is that? It's referring to this post I made, my GPT Super Team. Where is it? It's kind of an old, I guess I reply a lot, but here it is. GPT 5.6 Soul is winning my heart. Blah, blah, blah. Here it is, my super team. 4.6, GPT Soul, and Fable 5. I only got 53 views, so it said, this post only got 50 views, your best original in this window. So even though it's only got 50 views, it's still one of my best ones. So I guess this one did a little bit better. These ones kind of okay. So it seems like I'm starting to pick up a little bit more. But obviously this extra technical stuff doesn't really, people don't care about this, even though this is actually pretty valuable. But this just proves the super team. Anyway, so this suggestions, what does it actually suggest? Let me see if this is right. If not, we can adjust this. The suggestions part, it says double down on the model triage angle with a sharper take. So what is it going to suggest me? Because it is smart. I feel like it is kind of going in the right direction. It says benchmarks are dead. Routing is the new skill. I like this. I do like this. I think benchmarks are, there's some value there, but routing is really the new a new skill that everybody needs to learn. Model triage is just prompt engineering with extra steps. I don't know. Routing is a luxury only teams with budgets can afford. No, I like this one. Benchmarks are dead. Routing is the real thing. So let me show you guys how this works with the suggested posts. So again, see, as you can see, there's not enough room. It feels like I'm kind of fighting the room. So I can collapse this. So I just get a little bit more room to actually see what's going on here. And it suggests to stop arguing about benchmarks. Start routing. Grok for ops. So I like this. But we do have to rewrite this. It's not going to let you post this directly, so let's rewrite this. Benchmarks seem extremely unreliable. Start routing yourself. Grok for daily operations. Sol for medium complexity tasks. Fable for creativity / critical integrations. The skill of knowing how to route your request properly is becoming more important in 2026. Okay, so here's something I kind of rewrote this in my own words. It does agree that it's good. It's a good rewrite under the limit, etc., and now we can make a post. We can make this post directly from ourselves. Now, I believe this was marked as OG. So this will make an original post. Let me see. Somehow it takes some time to update. Right, so this is going to be an OG post. Nice, and we made this. So this is part of the suggestions stuff. It kind of helps you create your own post rather than just replying. But the reply path remains the same. Once you do takeoff, you get a bunch of replies. You can open this on X. Let me show you guys just one example. Here it is. What happens when AI argues over the humans' unnecessary waste and consumption of water? Nothing without agency. If humans arguing over it hasn't remedied the problem, AI talk will make a difference. But if AI recognizes the problem, the more pressing question is, what happens when AI takes over computerized water distribution systems to humans? Well, this is talking about water waste, etc. I think a cool thing here we can do, we can just kind of talk about how I don't think AI. There might be some conflict of interest there, as data centers require quite a bit of water to maintain. Let's see. I don't think anyone is planning to give AI unlimited control over what is it? I'm trying to word this correctly. I don't think anyone is planning to give AI unlimited control over what is it? Precious resource or no? I keep using the word critical, but it's like critical resources like water, electricity, etc. As that's just asking for Skynet. Okay, so as you can see, there's definitely a human response because I'm kind of like going on a tangent. I'm not really responding too much. An AI would directly respond to this with some clever thing. So again, you can use a suggested reply if you don't know what to say. But again, it's not going to allow you to post from this. It's just going to help you create a reply. But a lot of times, and myself, I've noticed I don't really use suggested replies. It's a lot easier and faster for me to just bam, reply, mark it as read, boom. So now as you can see, if you expand the agenda, we added, we have 8 posts today, 1.3K views. So as you can see, we are going up. So we have some ups and downs. We had a post go viral, a couple of weeks ago, but we continue to hammer everything. And lately, especially last week, for example, you see, we made quite a bit of posts, about 20 posts per day, but we did not hit any views, barely views. Today, we're starting to pick up a little bit. Again, every day is different, but this is the product, and our X account is growing slowly. So this is just a couple of things. We're still not even nearly done with what we've done over the past day. We've kind of really pushed forward a lot. So here's where we started with the operator, right? So this is where we ended. So the next part is add a public learn page. So this is another cool thing we did. I thought it was really important. First of all, this serves a couple of purposes, this learn page. What is this? This is literally like a course, a learn, where you can learn about X algorithm. I don't see this here pisses me off. So this back button needs to be, anyway, we'll fix this. But this is a literal course about the algorithm of X. Okay. Now this is generated by AI, obviously, but the core thing here is so what is a like worth? This is just we adding a couple lessons, and I'm learning this with you guys. It's not like I know everything. That's one of my favorite parts about doing like a learning course or any sort of learning thing, the best way to teach someone something is as you're learning it yourself, you're asking some questions, you're answering the questions. So by the time you learned it, going back and trying to teach someone who doesn't know anything about that makes it a lot more difficult. So because I'm not really familiar with anything, I literally use this myself to learn more. So the first lesson, you guys can check it out again. The first lesson is just about what is a like worth. Again, this is straight from the X algorithm. This comes straight from the public repo. Look, so every information here has a direct link. Now another thing, this has to open in a new tab. Maybe before I forget, I can add this. But as you can see, everything here comes directly from the X. There's a source link, so it's not going to be making anything up. Essentially, the point of this first lesson is telling you that, look, a like is only worth 0.5 points for your algorithm. So here's the full distribution of everything plus and minus. So the lesson I kind of got out of this is like, yes, likes are important, but what's the most important is a reply. So as you can see, well, out of these things, the positive ones, obviously we don't care about negative. What is the easiest thing to achieve? So mutual follow reply boost, yes, that is a huge thing. So if a follower who's following you is going to reply to your post, you get plus 15 and plus 5, so plus 20, a huge amount. So obviously the best thing to do is to get people to reply to your post, which leads us to the second lesson. Now these lessons are very short. We're not trying to make anything crazy, but this serves two purposes. First of all, it also is like an SEO play, but more so it's just something for you guys to expand. So the second lesson is talking about, look, a reply is plus 5. So the street name for this is reply farming, engagement farming, whatever you want to call this. That is the name of the game. Whether you like it or not, clearly, according to the algorithm, you need to essentially try to make posts that get people to reply. And even better if a follower replies to. So at the same time, think of it the other way. If you're replying to someone's post and you're following them already, they're going to get a huge boost. So just being aware of everything you do on the platform and how it scales with the actual algorithm is, I think, important. And this lesson, this is part of the learn thing that we're doing. We have the two lessons, and this actually goes into the AI as well, all these lessons, or all this knowledge base, and it helps it create better posts. So that is just the lesson part. Let's go back to what else we have added. So this was the learn the learn page, and add a learn follow thunder versus out of network. So this was just something when it comes to the learn page. So some additional updates. Lesson 2, I believe we added the second lesson, so updated some UI. So this is all learn stuff. We also added a change log as well. This is just another kind of SERP thing. So a change log, we just keep it updated of the things we updated it and when we updated this. So a couple of different things. I know the repo is public anyway, so there's no real need to this, but we just thought it's good to have the change log. Finally, how to ranking works in approach. So that's another thing in the desk. We added kind of like how it works. So it kind of explains to you how everything works. So make sure that everybody understands how the algorithm works. Everybody's on the same page, so we can all make the correct decisions on how to grow our X accounts. So that was just this. And finally, just the ranking, more polish, more learn polish. This was a little bit of a update to the approach. So we made it according to this lesson. We're trying to make the approach invite a reply. So something that will invite a reply, because that's how you're going to grow your X account. Now the last thing we added is approach extras 3 original for 15 credits. So the last thing we added is all these plans that we have, usage and billing. We have all these plans and credits. These credits are pretty much like dollars, right? So 40,000 credits is about however much this plan costs, $100. So we're not making much money or any money at all. We're just kind of using the credits as your runway. And so what we added is in this originals, if you're tired of replying to people, if you want to make a little bit more of original posts, well, you can actually click here and it's going to create more originals. It's a lot cheaper than doing takeoff, because we're not hitting the X API. We're just using DeepSeek, which is super cheap, to create a couple more posts for you. Now, the next thing I wanted to add is almost like a next suggested action, right? Because right now, we're not sure. I'm not sure if I should, what should I do? Should I do more replies? Should I make some originals? I have no idea what's the optimal way, but we can let the AI almost give us a little bit like a toast or some challenge or like a daily thing. We already have levels, daily streaks, and a couple of stats, but I think a cool thing to add would be to literally guide the user to say, okay, today your goal is to hit this many posts, this many replies, this many posts, this many views, let's say. So every day maybe have some sort of a challenge. So my whole thing is I would like to gamify this a little bit more. This should be almost like a game you play where you just log in, maybe in the morning. Yes, it is a job. It's not something I do out of fun. Let's put it this way. This is not fun for me. But this is something we're trying to grow our X accounts, right? So it's not supposed to be fun. If you want to have fun, you can just shit post on X, and you can have some fun. Maybe you go viral. I don't know, but we're just trying to like hit it directly. Try to grow your X account. So here's another one. Let me just do a reply here, and I'll move on to the next thing, which is I think the next logical step is I want to add like a next action. What should you do now? Should you reply to someone else's post? Should you do a takeoff? Should you post an original? So I think it's a good way to kind of guide the user and make it more gamified. So this is what we're going to do next. Let me just reply to this post. So the end of computers, something, some Substack article. Again, here's another thing. The fact that it has a link, for me, it should be blacklisted. So that's another thing. Let me check this. I'll show you guys the actual Cursor workflow. I know this is a live stream about Cursor, but we haven't been doing Cursor, so here it is. So I'm just gonna ask Cursor about this weird thing where it seems that one of the posts that we got right here includes the OP includes a link. So let me look at this. Okay. All right. So it seems that when I did take off, it still included a post where the OP included a link. I would like to just completely filter out any post, whether it's a reply, and especially if it's a reply to an OP that has a link, any sort of link, Substack, it doesn't matter what link. Okay, besides images, let's say besides an X link, if it's not an X or an image link, I want to filter this post out because we're not interested in interacting with anything that's trying to pull users off the platform. Please go ahead and investigate this. Do not make any changes. Just give me some options and tell me what the root cause for this is, because I'm pretty sure we already filtered out a lot of links. So I know we have a filtering system already where we filter out a lot of garbage, but yeah, I'm very, very strict about the stuff I am going to spend time and energy replying to, and I don't want to be interacting. That's the problem here, though. You see, this still kind of shows up as a t.co link. So X kind of cucks themselves a little bit because every link gets rewritten into t.co. The way we can still work around this is we can follow the link. We can have AI follow the link through to see where it redirects to, because this will redirect to what, Substack, right? So let me just look at the Cursor again and see what it said, because it's going to investigate this a little bit. These are all the previous issues it closed. So yeah. And when it comes to these kind of threads, if you guys don't like any sort of threads, we can do not interested. Now, this will not mark it not interested on X. It's not the same as marking it here. So don't worry about, well, I can't even do not interested because this didn't show up on my page, right? But this not interested is just an internal thing, and you can tell it why. So include, the OP includes a link. Confirm. So when you do a not interested, it's going to save it into this not interested table, which is our memory thing. So it's another pipeline I'm going to look into tonight, but every time it's filtering stuff, it's looking through your memories of things that you are interacted with and things that you're not interested in. So it filters out posts that are similar to others you mentioned that's not interested, like electrical engineering. I don't care about electrical engineering. I'm a software engineer. I don't know anything about electrical engineering. I don't care. So I mark this as not interested. So next time it's probably not going to suggest or not going to give me any electrical engineering posts. And same with this negative energy, not interested. If someone is trying to argue, I'm saying, no, I don't want to even enter the thread. Why enter a thread with it's a bunch of people arguing, you know? Something like this. So you can modify this to your doing, how you like it. So as this grows, it will know better what post you like and what post you don't like. So it's still a long horizon, like task goal, but we just started it early, and we do have, if you look at the repo, we do have an LLM, or no, we have a vector memory R8G model that's local. That's like 500 megabyte that's running. So it does proper vector memory search. Not using LLM, something different. Anyways, let's go back to Cursor. So here's Cursor is already busy working. That's crazy. I told it not to do anything. That's But the reason why I'm not even mad is because every time I talk to it, I say, open an issue, open a PR, open an issue. So it kind of follows my pattern. So it already identified the root cause. It said we only inspect the candidate, and we do that before the OP is hydrated. So I'll drop off-platform links on the reply and the OP while keeping X at image links. Now, it didn't really... I'm not sure if it's going to handle the proper rewriting. So I'm going to just ask it again. Did you properly handle the links? Because on X, every link is going to be rewritten as t.co. So we need to actually follow the link through. Please add a test, let's say for this post. I'm just going to add a test to make sure that it's actually going to catch the links, that any link, the proper links. So here's this post. Let me just copy this over to make sure we can properly filter out non-X links. And images are obviously fine. Okay, so we're gonna do that. It's just gonna finish it. It's likely going to open a PR already, and the PR is gonna start getting reviewed by Mergestorm right away. So this will probably be like a follow-up commit if needed. Well, actually, should I just interrupt it? I feel like I'm going to interrupt it. Post-hydrate link drops can stop takeoff early, blah, blah, blah. So let me I'm going to interrupt it in the right place. So that's another thing. If you are going to interrupt your agent, let's say before it opens the PR, right? Don't do it while it's editing something. Do it while it's planning next move. So watch here. I'll show you guys. This is a little trick I learned after spending so many months with Cursor. So I can interrupt it right here because it's planning next move, but like right here is a good spot because it's exploring, it's doing something else, like it's kind of like trying to do something else. It's already done editing, so that's a good time to interrupt it and say, hey, wait a second, make sure that you handle this and make it as part of VR. So this is fine already. I'm confident this will figure everything out and give me a nice PR. So let's just move on forward to the next thing. I'm not going to wait for this to churn. Let's just keep going and keep dogfooting this. So in this case, which is it this guy? No. I think we already skipped him. So let me just... Also, the minimize and maximize buttons, they need to be in the same place. A UX thing is... A minimize button is on the left and the maximize on the right. Like, that's ridiculous. I'm gonna make it so that both of them are on the right side. So let me go back to Cursor again and show you guys. So we're just gonna fire this up right after. Oh, okay, no, not like this. I don't even need the image. Usually I like to add the image, but I'll add the image after. Okay, another thing I want you to do, open an issue plus APR. This is a front-end polished thing. The problem is for the minimize and maximize button on the agenda and flight path. Why is the minimize button on the left side and then the maximize button on the right side? Please, you need to stabilize this minimum maximize button. Make sure it just stays on the right side. Do not change it from left to right because it's really bad UX. So re-render that button to be on the right side, no matter if it's maximized or minimized. And also, for the minimize and maximize, you did not add any smooth transitions. Please add cubic Bezier transitions in CSS. Do not use framer motion. Make sure it's compatible with iOS, Safari, and give it a smooth animation where it expands and collapses. Okay. I don't even need an image. So there it is. Oh, looks like I accidentally ruined it. So please continue with the PR already. Please continue and open up the PR and issue. So it looks like I interrupted this. So I'm just gonna queue this next prompt and have it continue this first one. I think I accidentally fired this off instead of queuing this. So not an issue. It's just going to continue from where it left off. It still needs to open this PR. And after that, as you can see, after that, it's going to do the little front end polish. So we can just leave it at that for now. Let's go back to our product. It's going to take some time. And that's the other thing. The other thing I want to add now is the next action. Now let's think. Where should we add it? Like, because the UI is important, right? So we have this area here is already taken. We have the agenda, we have the takeoff, we have some animation, we have the chart here. So I'm trying to think where the next recommended action. I'm thinking actually right here. We have suggested. We also should probably put a proper label for scouted or whatever this is called, scouts or takeoffs or flight paths, whatever these posts are. And then above suggested, we should have just one line that always shows up. That's it's called recommended next action. So let's do that. I'm just gonna fire it off in Cursor as well while it's cooking. It's gonna open the first PR. This second PR is gonna be pretty quick, and yeah, the reason why it's working. So I can do voice input, I guess. Okay, the next thing I want you to tackle is open an issue plus APR. Wait, what? It's not even doing the translations. Yeah, let me just wait until this is done because I could type this out, I guess. Let's type it out. I usually type my everything out anyway. So for this one, we want the next thing I want you to do is open an issue plus APR for this. We want to include above the suggested post another card same size as suggested / scouted threads, and it should just be a single row that tells the user what the next recommended action is, whether the user should make more replies today or make more original posts, etc., etc. The idea is it's a way to guide the user on what is best for his account, whether it's doing more takeoffs or making more posts. Again, you need to derive this next action from the user's available data. Do not scrape any additional data from X. Just use what you already have and just let DeepSeek make the decision. This next action, how should it be? Okay, this next action should update each time a user either makes a new post via the desk or marks an existing post as, or marks a post as replied. So every time a user takes an action on a platform, we want to update this. It's going to be relatively cheap. It should be relatively cheap to update just a single LLM call to DeepSeek, and it should really help the user understand what he should do. Because now it's not really clear whether the user should reply to more threads or make an OG post or quote a post. So the idea is the LLM should help the user. Another thing is we need to add some. We have levels and EXP. We want to add some daily challenges or daily missions to gamify the desk a bit more and encourage users to post daily. So this kind of I'm just gonna throw it out there. This is kind of a messy prompt, to be honest with you guys. It's a little bit of a messy prompt. I told it to kind of do some basics. I'm probably gonna change this, but I think regardless of how we do it, we just need to start it. So do an MVP. Speaking of MVP, this PR is done. I'm gonna show you. Let's go back to Mergestorm really quick and take a sip of my coffee. I should probably also order food really quick, guys. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna order some food. I still gotta go hit the gym. This is gonna be like 1 a.m. gym session. Okay, let's see. Let me order some food really quick. I need some light food. And we're gonna go back to Mergestorm, and I'll show you guys some new updates and what else we got cooking. Let me see. Some fish and chips. That's look good, bro. Yeah, why not? We got some fish and chips sauce, tartar sauce. Okay. Okay. All right. We got this. Just all right, guys. So let's go back to merge. So I want to show you guys a couple of updates. So Cursor continues to work here, but here's Mergestorm. Well, not here. Here it is. Mergestorm, guys. Where are we? Where are we? So here we are, X-Copilot. So it opened this up as a regular PR. This is my Mergestorm stuff. So this is separate. Don't pay attention to this for now. But look at the X-Copilot. This is the one that we just opened. And again, guys, for Mergestorm, it's free. There's a free plan. You can try this. I use this all the time, and it's about to get the way I'm able to ship like 20, 30, 40 PRs per day is thanks to Mergestorm, because it just does everything automatic. And as you can see here, we have the merge queue, which I'll show you guys just a second. Well, actually, I can show you guys with this. And well, the merge queue is not done, not quite done yet. But you can do like this. You send to merge queue, and it's just gonna. The thing with the merge queue is it will rebase. It will take this. It will merge this, create a new branch, run CI. If CI passes, it will push this into main. It just does it automatically for you. The way my CI runs is it runs on the initial pushes, but it's not gonna do it on follow-up pushes. That's how most CIs runs, I feel like. But regardless, it's a whole different thing. So here's the second PR as well. So we can obviously have multiple PRs in flight. Now before, I would just go on GitHub and I would keep refreshing this page, refresh this page, click this PR, see the status of this PR, scroll down. Oh my God, it's still reviewing. Oh, okay. What about this one? Is it still reviewing? Yes, it's still reviewing. I would keep doing this over and over, and I just got so tired of this Mergestorm. You don't need to do this anymore. Yes, you can click on this, and guess what? It's going to take you to the GitHub page. So I still do this once in a while just to verify the PR is good, but I don't need to sit on this page and keep, refreshing things over and over. I clearly see the status right here, exactly when it's ready. So this one is a lot of specialists. This one, I don't know if it will invoke any specialists. So again, our Mergestorm is really unique in terms of it allows you to run your own review loop. So you can invoke your own specialists, whichever ones you like at any point. Or if you don't want to build this complex infrastructure, you just go to the Agents tab, you go to Smart Router, turn it on, max mode, turn every single specialist on, and it will only invoke the specialist that's needed for your PR. So I'll show you guys once this review finishes. So the fan out means, yes, it's just starting up the initial review, and this one is as well doing the fan out. So I'm gonna give it a couple minutes, and we'll be right back when it's all done. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna skip this post. Let's go back to the X-Copilot, refresh this. We need to refresh. And this, let's see what else is here. Let's try to do another couple replies. So here's another one reply. Again, we're not able, the reason why you're not able to post from the desk, because you're not allowed to reply to someone else via API. You can only do that manually. So this is why we do that for you manually. GLM 5.3 Flash is posting some massive generational leaps over GLM 5.2 across the board. The only thing I have to say is something negative. I don't even know if I even want to jump into this. But honestly, sometimes saying something that's not a yes man thing can be a good thing. So what is this, bro? Am I gonna try GLM? I can't even see this image. It's not even formatted correctly. So I'm just gonna skip this, guys. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on here. What else we got? We got oh, that's the other cool thing I wanted to talk about. Is, well, the algorithm doesn't penalize you. Does it penalize you if you make a post and no one replies? That's something I want to understand. So from the learn page, the first thing is, what is a like worth? Kind of gives you an understanding of the algorithm, how it's broken down, and the different points for each. But the other thing here is posts that get a reply. The second one is, okay, we tell you guys, so you want to try to make posts that actually get a reply. But the next thing is, how many replies per day should you do? Does the algorithm say anything about this? That's another cool thing I would like to just add as lesson number 3. So I'm going to go back to Cursor, and it's already cooking a lot of stuff. I'm going to keep cooking this because this is a separate lane. So let's go right here, and I'll tell Cursor, type it out. So in this one, another thing I want you to do is open an Open an issue plus APR for lesson number 3. I want you again to utilize the code, the public algorithm for any evidence and include sources for your conclusions. Uh, for lesson 3, I would like to understand how many replies per day you can do or post per day. Does the algorithm punish daily, too many replies slash posts? What is a general good standard, or does it just depend on the account? Should you just start replying 50 per day, or maybe slowly scale it up? These are all important questions that we need to understand. So please investigate this properly using the public X-Algo repo. Clone it if you need to into references folder, and clone it if you need the references folder, and do not stage or commit it. Just make a third lesson for this, so me and other users can understand how replies with 0 engagement, for example, affect the account. Do you lose points, or so? Yeah, that's another thing I want to just add. I'm just gonna throw it this way. And let's go back to Mergestorm. Yeah, guys, you guys should be using Mergestorm. Why? Because it speeds up your workflow by so much. As you can see here, for X-Copilot, it decided to invoke the test specialist and the API, because we had some tests here, and it looks like we had some API stuff. So this was good. As you can see, changes are requested because it came up with some findings, and we have Cyclone that's automatically patching this already, all the changes. So there's that. It's gonna take 7 minutes for a review. Is a little bit heavy. It really depends on the model. It depends on the model's speed. We have peak usage sometimes, and sometimes the model is just slow. We get around 100 tokens per second, which is good. And I'm sure it's gonna get faster soon. So these reviews are the only reason they're taking so slow is because we're waiting on the LLM to give us back the responses. It's not thing to do with our pipeline. Well, technically, yes, you can do a lot of changes to your pipeline. You can modify how much time a model gets to do investigations. In our case, we just tuned it to where we give the model plenty of time. But again, most of that time is spent just waiting for the tokens to come back. So it does a call, and the model will start thinking, doing the thinking traces, and that takes sometimes it writes full essays as it's thinking. So this is something that will get better as models improve. So these 2 PRs are in flight, and it looks like we have a third one cooking. So this might take just a little bit of time here. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, so this PR is going to be cooking. Here, we're ignoring this one. Let's continue on to our desk. What's next here? Let's make a couple more posts. Okay, my words are my words, not AI. Using AI to catch factual or grammar errors is fine, but putting your name under AI's words makes you a no-good, dirty, hornswoggling varmint. Why would I let AI compose what are supposed to be my ideas? Also, AI would never use a hornswoggle. It depends. Uh-oh. If you want people to see your ideas and understand them and identify with them, you may be better off using an AI to speak their way. But if you want them to see your style and personality in the words as well, then don't use the AI. Trade-offs and 0 interactions. Here's another thing I'm kind of considering. As we're doing more and more of these, Okay, well, this is very recent, right? So that's another thing. This is very recent. This is, oh, no, not that recent. It's 3 hours ago. Maybe he just didn't see it. But the other thing is, if you think about this, uh, if I reply to him, what are the chances that the OP will? We need to kind of do more chance stuff, right? So if the OP is not with the data we have, so we don't really when we grab the thread, we don't grab every response, right? Because it costs a lot. As you can see here, he is replying to some people, which is nice. But what is he doing? He's replying with a quote. Look at that. Do you guys see this? This is ridiculous. What is he doing? Look at that. He replies with a quote. That's kind of, am I tripping? Look, he literally quoted the same stuff. Hmm. Look at that. What is that? Am I tripping? This seems like some engagement farm tactic. Look at this. What is he doing exactly? Is that all he does? Spam his own thing? I'm a little bit confused. Let's look at his replies. This guy has a good amount of followers, right? Okay. That's crazy. Retweets equals... Yeah, I'm not really sure whatever this is, but what's up with these replies that are quotes? I'm a little confused. Maybe it's more of... Maybe this is a reply. Maybe this is just X showing something. I'm confused, really. This is a poll. Maybe these are responses to the poll. I'm a little bit confused what he's doing. But, yeah, let's just skip this one for now. I don't know. Yeah. He's got the whole thing in there. Anyway, so we got data centers. Oh, no, here's the stuff with the links. This one is not even a... This one is not even a post. So how did this get through? Let me see. Let me go back to Cursor and see what happened there. I was on the wrong page. Wow. I just want to make sure to see if we handled this properly because, yeah, this is sketchy, bro. Don't change anything, just investigate. Okay, yeah, I'm not really sure what's going on there. All right. Let's continue here. This one, yeah, I don't know why we got this link, but we'll handle this. So let's just move on. Let's skip this again. Now, I don't know if others want to do this, but we're just gonna force it on others as well because I'm telling you guys, you don't really want to interact with. I'm not pricey. What am I doing? Where's settings? You don't really want to interact. We already have drop posts with EM dashes, drop automated accounts, drop X articles and replies to them. We should make this a setting where you drop all outside links. I think that's a good, because this is a toggleable setting to where either you have it on or off. I think that's a good idea. So I think I'm going to add this as well as the next part. So as you can see, we're shipping a lot in parallel. I haven't even merged any PRs. I probably have like 3 or 4 PRs in flight, but that's okay. Yeah, so this is another thing. So we just continue to kind of polish and really hone in our product. I really enjoy this. I'm glad that we're doing this and like continuing to use this and continuing to see the threads that pop off and continuing to kind of little by little improving it. Different settings, different filters, etc., etc. So at some point we're gonna have to do an audit on this filter to make sure that it's looking good, because we keep adding little pieces and sometimes it can balloon a lot. So while we're waiting on this curation list, let's look at here. You asked Gimmicky 3 about unlimited usage, a pure trade-off question. So this flips it to the real bottleneck: context windows versus raw reasoning, which you've hinted at. I am not even sure what's going on. I thought that would get some people excited. Gimmicky 3 or GPT Soul 5.6? No one really responded. Context is king. IQ is overrated. Raw reasoning beats. Why is I'm not really sure. I'm just gonna skip this one. You posted a 26-day build streak with 0 views. You clearly care about shipping visibility, so this asks the operator to defend whether daily logs actually compound or just feed the algorithm. I have no idea what it's talking about. This is very interesting. I'm gonna need to hone in on this. Streaks are vanity. Product quality is the only signal. 0 views mean you're building for yourself, not users. Interesting. Streaks are vanity. Product quality is the only signal. Okay, let's say if I do want this, am I just 26 days of build logs and 0 views? That's not an audience problem. That's a signal problem. Streaks are discipline for you, not value for them. The product got better or it didn't. That's the only number that compounds. What's yours? Yeah, but it's not 0 views, so that's another thing here. I'm gonna again. This is death by 1,000 cuts, but it's a lot of little issues that we just need to figure out, and then we're not gonna have to deal with this. This other thing here is the issue is it's for these suggestions. It should ignore any super recent posts less than 1 hour ago, for example, because it won't have any data. It will falsely think I got 0 views when the reality is it was literally just now posted. So please, can you adjust these suggested posts filter a bit? And also, yeah. Okay, so this is something. It looks like a lot of PRs. Let's go see if we can start merging something. Merging some of these guys. These are the PRs here. So where are we at? We're gonna adopt this one. This one's all clear. And we also need to adopt this one. Okay, so we got these 4 PRs here. As you can see the numbers. This is Mergestorm. We got these 4 PRs. And so that this one is still reviewing. So only this one is clean. I could merge this one. I could just land this directly, or I can take it through the merge queue. If I take it through the merge queue, right now we don't have the full merge queue on. We just have it where it just checks the current CI. It doesn't really do the full pipeline yet, but I'll show you guys how. Look, you set it in the merge queue. Let's see, moment of truth. You got this one stack, 1 in line. It's gonna finish this really quickly because it's not really going to do any crazy stuff yet. It should just check everything, check the CI, and if it's all good, it will kind of push it forward. So let's wait for this to kind of come through. I hope it works. This is a demo, but we used it yesterday, but we have done a lot of updates, and it still needs the full new update for the actual merge queue. So I think it might take a second, and we need some better updates for this because it's not really clear what's going on here. Yeah, it's not even showing the actual PR that's in the merge queue. So we need to fix that. We will fix that tonight, and it's gonna be a lot better. But the merge queue is like, and I hope it's it's not really ever gonna be the final piece of the puzzle. As you can see, it did land. It took a little bit of time, but yeah, it did land. And if you look here on the actual repo, the merge queue is better because yeah, it allows you to really check the CI and make sure that the code actually works. So here it is. This was the animation stuff. So let me see what it actually did. I don't think it rebased or did anything weird. All it did was just check it and merge it. So far, it's not like a real merge queue, not just yet. We just still, it's kind of like a pseudo merge queue. It checks the CI, and if the CI is not green, which is, you can already see, it doesn't really give you much thing right now. But tonight, we're gonna update this to where it will actually do the full pipeline, just like a GitHub native merge queue, where it will create a new branch, almost like a new PR, and run the CI on this new main, and then merge it into main. If that makes sense. So it's gonna do that. Again, guys, this will take a little bit of time. I think it's been about an hour, right? How long has it been? Let me see, guys. And I'm glad we have not dropped the stream this time. How long have we been streaming? Let me see, guys. I'm not even sure where my stream is at. Are we live? I know we're live, but let me see, guys. How long have we been streaming for? About an hour, almost an hour. So yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. All right. So where can we? Are we done? I think for tonight we're pretty done. We got all these in-flight PRs. So we're gonna handle this properly. Okay, what else we got here? What else we got? I think we're pretty much done, guys. I think I'm gonna end the stream. Let me make sure with Cursor. Yeah, we just have the PRs I need to merge. So on Mergestorm, I'm gonna these as well. We can merge this one as well, because these two are popping off. But I'm gonna do this off stream, guys. So yeah, we're just continuing to work on this X-Copilot. We're gonna do lesson number 3. We continue to improve this product and polish up stuff around the edges, so you guys can actually use it more and help grow your X account. And you know, my X account is kind of like the guinea pig for this. So as you can see, it's ups and downs. It really depends on the kind of posts you do. I'm still trying to figure out the algorithm and etc. etc. The other cool thing here, especially for kind of these posts, the reason why I got so many views was you can just what is it? Hop on the back of popular posts. That's another thing I want to try to do. So a lot of times, one of the best ways to get a lot of views, if you just go to your profile, or if you go to Creator Studio, if you go to Inspiration, and if you go to, it doesn't really matter, most views, it doesn't really matter, but go through this. This is going to be in Thailand. I'm in the United States. So you go through this, and if anything kind of shows up that's relevant to you, sometimes X is going to show some weird stuff here, so just be careful. But this obviously is not related to AI in any way. So if you can find something that's related to AI, something like this, you know, you quote tweet this, you're probably going to get a lot of views. Yeah, everything is about Dolly Parton. I don't even know who that is. So yeah, let's just move forward. Yeah. So right now, the thing is, the main problem I'm seeing with this is it's kind of prioritizing a lot of these smaller views posts, barely any views. So that's my main issue here. That's not an issue. I would like to. I'm gonna handle this overnight. So I think tomorrow we might start focusing a little bit more on views on posts that are a little bit more popular, and try to craft some replies for them. So anyways, guys, thank you so much for coming by and checking out the stream. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow. As always, you guys can check this out. xcopilot.dev is the website, and the repo is all fully public. Thank you guys for stopping by. I'll see you guys in the next one.